Comes on. Didn't hear from him now. Good afternoon, guys. How we doing?
Doing good.
Doing really well. How about you?
Good. Good. Had a great Thanksgiving. How about you guys?
Survived.
Nice and quiet.
unlike the turkey, right?
Yeah, no, the turkey didn't survive. That
Cool.
got demolished.
There you go. Welcome. Today we're going to talk about customer service, improving satisfaction. We have a couple of tips and ideas to share on what we do with some of the training that we have, and happy to share that with you guys today. First off, we are the Reboot. We meet Wednesdays at 1:30 Eastern Time. And my name is Brian Bradshaw. I'm with B&L PC Solutions based out of Long Island, New York. And to my right,
David Luft with LDD Consulting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, the green chili capital of the world.
And I am Dave Groot with WinStar Technologies in Culpeper, Virginia. My name doesn't have my company next to it. I need to fix that. So
it should have stayed.
I am Groot.
There you go. All right, so let's get into it. Obviously, we know that we're all customers, consumers as well to somebody, and at least myself, I am very vocal in things that if someone does a great job, if I'm very satisfied with a product service, I do make comments socially, verbally, in person, and I think that for us and our clients, we have to first provide a level of service that is pristine, that is something that can be unmatched. You outshine your competition, whatever it is. But that has to happen first. So you have to have that. It could be if you're selling to somebody, let them know what's your differentiator, what makes you different, why you and not this person, and that's what we do when I go vendor shopping and look for new vendors. I have product A that I've been using for 5 years, and a competitor comes along and says, "Hey, look at what we got," and well, this is what I have now. You tell me what you're going to do better, and it may not come down to price, to be honest with you. Sometimes it's just a matter of what you're giving me better service or more options, whatever it is. And then I've made changes before. I've swapped out products and gone with different vendors, again based on my own intuition and kind of my data collection and testing and piloting and all that stuff. So
Right.
You guys agree that the first thing you need is to have that level of service that is something that your customers are going to be bragging about or happy about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, certainly that's what we are striving for with our team every day, right? We want to call ourselves white glove. We're best in class. That is what we are, and that's what we strive to be every day. Like, it's not, look, if I may just take 12 seconds to get on my box, and then I'll let you guys just fill it in, okay? But I mean, I think we can all agree, right, in our consumer experiences that there has been a real problem with quality of service across many industries. And, it's not any one company. It's not any one state, region. It's nationwide. We're short on staffing. We don't have enough people in the workforce. So companies are struggling, right? We've been through pandemics and COVID, but where I'm a little bit, so like we're seeing a decline in that customer service level, but it almost is getting to a point where it's becoming acceptable. And I hear people say, well, we can't really just expect that anymore. And I'm like, baloney. Like, I'm sorry. No, I'm not willing to even accept that conversation for 2 minutes. Right. And so that is like, look, our business, like many other service businesses, has become commoditized, right?
Absolutely.
You have massive, super big companies that are selling managed services at a reduced rate. They're like, economies of scale. It's we'll do it for $40 flat or whatever it is their fees are. And I don't care what industry we're talking about. many of these industries, they start out specializing and they become commoditized. Somebody tries to bring them to the mass, right? Which takes away value, or at least perceived value, by prospects, by clients, by people out there. And so, yes, having that exceptional service, that white glove service, that to me is what makes your business different. It is the reason we exist, is because I can't stand to think that it would go any other way.
Yeah.
Now I'm done. Go ahead.
That's a long 13 seconds, but you know what? We
right,
allow it. I met with somebody yesterday that has been with their current MSP for 7 years. And she asked me what the process is to get support. And I told her this, you have 3 different ways to get support. I said, the easiest and most effective way is to call my office and you'll get a text, on the phone. And she looked at me. She's like, how? I said, you just call the office, I said, and tell them you need support, and they'll put a tech on the phone with you. And she goes, all the time. I said, well, while we're open, and then if you want to talk about after hours, that's a separate conversation. I said, but of course. She says, how do you handle that? I said, handle what? I said, that's what we do. She's like, the way we do it now is we have to, if we call, we got to call back within 4 hours, unless it's an emergency. And has become accustomed to that, like to your point,
right.
Dave.
And that's my point. That's exactly what I'm saying. And we can be talking McDonald's, or we can be talking our industry, right? Like I don't care where you're at. Yeah. It's that conversation.
And she was shocked that I said, of course. I said, we built, years ago. Yeah, we sold a ton of hardware. We were great margins on hardware. We're a service company. That's what we are.
That's right.
So we need to be courteous, be professional, and provide top-notch support. Period. That's it. There's nothing can fall short there. I said, if you get somebody on the phone right away, and then she said, when she does get through to somebody, it's somebody in India that she has to talk to and has a problem with that. Never used to be like that. She said that started within the last year and a half.
That's the only place you can find workers.
But this is why she's making the change. Is it's just not. That's really what put her over the edge. Was now knowing that a service that she wasn't happy with to begin with, but accepted it, has now gotten worse.
And doesn't that tell you something, right? Because she's still sort of tolerating it. Like she's not happy because she's looking around. She's, but I mean, that's like being accepted by businesses. And I don't know, man, I'm just sorry, but like, we can't be United States of America, the great power in the world, if we're going to just be mediocre.
Right. And so my whole point was, I want to say, without saying it, but the fact that was the first, my opening part of the conversation on a question she asked me, very easy to answer. I didn't even get into our products and services and our everything else. It was just
right. It's the experience. It's that day-to-day stuff, right? And asking her that question, that question coming up is like not, a lot of people wouldn't even think to ask, right? Like, how's the experience today, and what is it that you think it should be? Like, what would you like it to be, right? How many?
What don't you like now?
That question.
Right.
Hey, Mr. Groot, how would you really like that hamburger and French fries? Do you want extra salt or some ketchup, maybe, or how about a little cup of mayonnaise? I don't know. Right. Like, I'm just, right.
No, we just picked up a customer for the same reason. They were tired of just phone support, and they wanted somebody local who could actually help them out and come into the office if there was a problem.
And then you look at a company like Chick-fil-A that has a phenomenal product, right? According to, I had it once, but it was great. But again, they have a phenomenal product, but the rave is about the experience and how nice
they have a following.
Is.
Like, people are very much into their Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. All right. So let's
those guys during COVID, they're like opening up extra drive-through lanes.
Yeah.
Because they were so bloody busy. They had to have more room for the cars. Yeah. It's just insane.
Crazy. It really is. So let's talk about the customer experience and what you can do and what we're doing to get some measurable results, right? So right off the bat, I'll tell you one of the things that we do is we push out campaigns for Google reviews, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have a list of our clients, and they're on a schedule to get an email from us to say, listen, let us know how we're doing. Here's a $10 Starbucks gift card for your time. Let us know how we're doing. If we deserve 5 stars, you'd be happy to write us a review. And if we don't,
you give us 5 stars, we'll give you a $15 Starbucks card. No, I'm just kidding.
And if not, if we don't deserve, talk to me. Let me know what else we can do, or what we can do better, or what you're not happy with. And we have an enormous amount of success with that, because now we have something. We have tangible feedback from a client that's now publicly viewed by prospects and other clients and everybody else, and that builds to our, so we're building our library of reviews that we can share. So when we go on, I can print out 5 pages of reviews and go to a prospect and say, here's some happy people, and that's important. You guys do anything like that?
I mean, it's important, but not just for your customers, right? It's important for your staff.
Yeah.
We're using Crew, and I like that pretty well, which is a customer satisfaction rating program. I know you guys know what it is. And every time we close a ticket, it sends it out, and the customers have an opportunity to give us feedback. And it's interesting because every time we follow it up on bad feedback, it's usually not anything to do with us. It's a different frustration on the customer's part,
right,
that we couldn't have resolved anyways.
Right.
Yeah, but you know what? Just giving them the opportunity to bring that out sometimes is a good thing, right? Like, even if it isn't your fault, you're asking the question, and they're going to point it out, and you're going to see if you can't maybe throw some ideas.
But we always follow back up too to find out, exactly what's going on.
Yeah, and you need to give the customer the opportunity to also provide that bad feedback. So if they are frustrated over something, their internet was down for 4 hours, and we handled the vendor relationship with the ISP directly. We took care of it, and there was an outage, whatever it was, and then we don't get it up, right? We know that. We just facilitated the communication between the MSP, alleviated the client of having to do that. Then you close a ticket, and they could be pissed off, hit bad review, took 4 hours to get this restored. Again, so it's all a matter of allowing them to do that, and then coming back and just saying, thank you, we got your feedback. I want you to personally understand that this was of no fault of ours. This was at ISP XYZ. This is where the problem was, and this is why it took so long. We were on it as soon as we knew about it, and you were up as soon as the issue was resolved. We let you know. So stuff like that too. But yeah, we do the same thing when we close tickets. Every ticket, the contact that opened the ticket gets it's at the bottom of the email, and all they have to do is click a smile face, click a non-smile face or a sad face. That's it. They can write something if they want, but you want to keep it simple. You don't want them to have to go somewhere else, have something load up, sign in, and do this. That's a lot to ask. But a simple, you see it at the bathrooms in the airports now. How clean was the bathroom? And the only time I've hit that button is when it's a mess. I hit that red button.
So that's after you're done.
That's exactly.
Every time you walk out of one, right?
Well played. I like that. And I think what's important too is to focus on your staff and let them know. And we're going to kind of segue into a guy, John DeJulius, who we've all met and heard him speak a few times, and he's a customer service genius. What he's built, his platform is incredible, and the ideas that he gives us and the demos that he's walked us through and the exercises have been invaluable to me. And that's something that you can take to your staff. Let them know we created do's and don'ts for every client you speak to. Don't do or say this, do or say this. And it's amazing. And in your head, it may be something simple, like don't say not a problem. He doesn't want you to do that because that could be perceived, I don't know. But I think that his program is just amazing. And there's probably others out there that do similar things, but
yeah, we got our team all registered to go through that whole certification process with his group, right? For customer service, everybody techs and administrative side, right? Like
it's not just
all of it.
Yeah.
Because I think, I mean, even folks that may never talk to a customer need to understand customer service. And they got to understand what that's all about.
Absolutely.
I believe. We also try and spend a lot of time focusing on like keeping the staff engaged and trying to find ways to automate simple processes so that they're focused on more involved, higher level strategic things, which is generally what people want to be, the techs anyway. They don't want to be fixing a printer all day. It's a necessary evil. It's part of our business. We got to do it. But if they can be learning something new, they like that too, right? So we try and slip some of that in there, get them exposed to different things so they can start seeing and understanding more. And that they like that.
I saw something this morning. I forget where it was, but they were talking about the hiring shortage, and they were just saying, get robots, and they had a picture of a robot carrying, being basically a waiter.
We are very much invested in automation.
Yeah.
We're doing we are looking and finding ways to provide that to our clients, right? So that because they're all struggling, like I said, every industry is hurting, right? There's a shortage, and so that is another way to set ourselves apart, is to like show these folks, these clients of ours, the business owners, and the teams, like how to get more done with less, get it done efficiently, get it done consistently, profitably. Right. Using that technology, because realistically, it's everywhere. Technology, it's a part of your life. It's a part of your world, and it can be a tool in your business 1,000 different ways.
Sure.
And so,
one thing
showing them how to utilize that, right? Folks.
One thing we're running into with the automation, though, is you have to have a way to audit things consistently. And sometimes
you cannot trust. You don't set and forget.
No. But even what our techs do, we want to audit that too, to make sure there's consistency in there, because everybody's going to make mistakes.
Yep.
Right. That's why the automation part of it can add some consistency that's wrapped around the human engagement part of it, right? Like, because like you got to have, like you say, you got to have humans. That I'm not saying we're replacing people with automation. I'm saying we can't hire enough people because they're not out there. Our clients can't either. Therefore, we have no choice but to find other ways to be efficient and effective, right?
Yeah. You need, if you're doing anything, well, I guess it matters the type of business, but if you're doing in our business support, or you're doing any type of customer service roles, you need to be able to audit your phone records too, your phone calls, because there's things to be learned in listening to stuff like that. And it works both ways. I've had a client say, not necessarily something negative, but, oh, so-and-so told me this. I didn't know that. So I said, okay, listen, I'm sorry, there's a misunderstanding. Let me fix that for you, and took care of it. I went back and listened to the phone call. It was never said.
So didn't say that.
No,
right?
No. So there's that.
Well, there's also the compliance aspect. I mean, that requires being able to audit all these things. But that's a whole different. I don't want to even start going down.
You had to throw it out there. I get it.
I know. I'm sorry. I can't help it.
You want to talk about?
But that's automation, right? Like that's what we're doing, right? We're incorporating that automation.
Yeah, and being able to audit those like I said, those phone calls. It's you can find things that, again, it goes both ways. It's not something that is really just for your own perception on if you're providing a level of service and you're telling your staff, don't say not a problem, say it was my pleasure to help. Like just those simple things like that. You can check and see if that's happening. If it's not happening, on your weekly huddle,
so do you call your team and ask them what the weather is in Pasadena and see if they tell
you? So yeah, those are a couple of things. No.
Oh, are we live? I'm sorry. I'm just kidding,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So we talked about the doing some type of incentive for your customers, Google reviews, something like that. David mentioned client surveys after a ticket's closed. And I think a driving force to that all is getting back to your staff. Make it rewarding for them. Make it so that that and they're listen. I know things are different today, and everybody gets a trophy and all that that whole philosophy that's out there. But
not in my office.
I'm just. But my point is that that's a whole different meeting. But it's let them know, guys. So and so, you're doing a great job. So we do that,
right?
With Crew as well. Where if you get guys, whoever does X, Y, and Z, and it could be nothing client facing. It could be things on the back end that need to be done, and
for sure.
You get points for it, and the points accumulate, and then you can go shopping and listen, you want a day off, you get a free day off, or you get a free lunch, with me.
Wait a minute, what?
That's if they screw up.
But stuff like that, or free a new office chair.
No,
all these things you can do.
No, it's absolutely. Look. I don't want to, be mistaken for saying I like it's not acceptable for lower customer service, and though it seems to be starting to become the status quo in what I'm seeing out there in the world. But you're right, it's not. But you have to empower your team, right? You got to give them the tools and the power to make decisions and take care of customers, and you got to let them know it's truly part of the culture, right? It's what we are here to do. We are here to serve.
We are.
You got to empower them and then hold them accountable. Right? But they win. Like they see, like that whole I get a day off and all that. I mean, that's that a lot of them, they like that. Of course, anybody does. Mm-hmm. But then they start doing it more because they like to see people happy, right? And getting helped. Like, I'm sorry, but they do. Usually people call the help desk and they're pretty upset, or it can often be the case if they're having a problem, right? They're a little hot. And if that tech can do something to get them to be happy, that's rewarding. I don't care what anybody says. It may not be why they showed up today, but they aren't not liking that, right? That helps them. So if you can give them the tools to succeed, then they will be happier.
Couldn't agree more, Dave. That's exactly, and we know this because of the nature of our business. We know that, and I tell, and I had a conversation with David Luff before the meeting about, finding when we're hiring, it's one of the things that we look for is someone that has the experience and the know-how on how to work with multiple clients. So we have, and so each client has it could be a contractor, it could be an accounting firm, it could be a car dealership, whatever it is. Knowing those environments and kind of getting used to the finance department at a car dealership is insane. It's everything comes in hot. It's just like there's someone calls you on the phone. It's like they're in the stock market. I mean, they're yelling back to 5 people, and then I'm like, so we wait there, and we're like, oh, I'm sorry, no, whenever you're ready, we're here. But being able to kind of change gears on a whim, and that's important because they're calling for a problem, and they're probably not happy. So that has to have a thick skin. That's important.
Yeah, you can't look. Anybody in our industry isn't coming into the industry because they want to be, boosted, right? Like they shouldn't be. If they are, they're misinformed.
Yes,
it's a thankless job in many cases, but it's an important one.
Yeah, but thankless. But I
think
as often as you think, though.
It's thankless from a lot of people's perception only because they don't quite understand all what goes into doing it correctly.
I agree. Yeah.
No, it's just easy what we do.
That's what I mean. It's become commoditized. They think, I can go buy a Linksys router at Walmart and I can have a wireless network up in 20 minutes. And I am a network engineer.
My cousin told me how to do it. He came and set up the office.
They can even tell you the default password. I mean, gosh, they got it going on.
Yeah. So it's doing that along with educating your customer client with what you're doing.
Setting the expectations, right? Realistically, customer service is all about transparency, getting what you tell them you're giving them understanding what it is that you're telling them you're giving them, making sure what you're telling them you're giving them is what they need.
Exactly. It's the trifecta.
Yeah.
That's
easier
all I
said
have.
than done sometimes.
You guys have anything else? Is it?
No, what do you think maybe the top 1 or 2 things you guys do for customer service. What's most important, do you think?
You talking to me?
Both of you.
I mean, again, so for WinStar, it's been a call to action since the day we've become a company to serve small business and bring enterprise class level stuff to these people, giving them the competitive edge that these bigger companies have. Because I came from that world and I saw it, and it drove me crazy when I saw small businesses couldn't do the same thing. And I truly meant that. And that's really what we do. So when we hire based on our core values. We have a list of core values and we start, sure, experience is important, but if you can't—
You're stealing my thunder, Dave, but
if you can't fit the core value, man, I don't care what you know. You will never work a day with us, because I got to know that you're going to gel with my team. Everybody's going to stay cohesive and happy, working towards a common cause. And that is to protect our clients and provide the best in class white glove service every day. Without fail.
Yep. And let your clients and prospects know that you have core values, and what's important to you. We share that information, and so I'm right there with you. Cool. All right, guys. I think we can button this one up.
Cool.
We will meet
good to see y'all
again next week. Absolutely. You too. Everyone, enjoy the rest of the week, and we'll start it up next week.
All right. Be safe.
See ya.
Have a good week.